Hello and welcome to another exciting Blender tutorial. We're going to be pressing ahead with our dump run short film. Let's get into it. Okay, so today we're going to be picking up where we left off, and it's been a while. It's been about 2 months since I've done any YouTube. It's been a nice little break for me. I've needed to focus on some other things, but I'm back from the Blender conference. That was the last thing I did, and it was amazing. Probably do some stuff about that at some point, but let's get into this. I've been excited to continue with the dump run series. So we're working through the second scene. We left off with, let's see, we've got, we'll just do a quick review of where we're at with it all. So we got a little guy, falls down, gets picked up, surprised by the robotic arm. We get the big reveal of the space. He sees the smasher, oh no, and get his reaction. He turns to get away, starts to run, tut, 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 and then snatched by the arm and put back. Total rejection. And now he's going to get smashed for real. Oh no, sees where he needs to go, and then jumps. Cool. All right. I feel like, just first off, just by watching that, this second look back isn't necessary. I feel like when we see that, he should just go for it. So let's let him do that. I'm going to use the minus key on my my number keypad here. To the plus key to kind of open and close this summary. It's really useful, and hopefully you'll see why soon. And again, with my dope sheet, just as a reminder, we've got only show selected turned off and show hidden turned on. I always like to work with those two. As I work more with this, as you watch this, hopefully you'll see why it's really really useful. Just get rid of that. All right, so I'm gonna affect my little droid. I come to my droid rig, and let's see, where's this point where he turns. So it's from this keyframe to this keyframe is this look, and then he comes back and he's kind of facing the right way from here. So it's just going to be his look control. So I'm just going to open up the rig and it'll give me the list of all the different bones that we've got here for him. And I'll go to my look control. I'm suspicious this is the one that's causing the turn. So yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get rid of, I think I'll get rid of all of these. I'll just box select all these look controls, delete them all, and then just grab this one out to here. So it's just before that cut. And let's see, how does that affect it? He jumps. Yeah, cool. That'll work. I feel like that feels a little bit better. Although it'd be nice if like the door was about to land on him just before he jumps. So let's grab the door. How is that controlled again? Gosh, it's been so long since I opened this up. Smasher action, object controls, Z location. Is it just a switch over to my, oh, yep. It's one of these things. What's it called? A cycle. I'm gonna hit 0 on my number keypad just to jump to the frame that I'm on. And yep. All right. So I kind of want to get rid of this cycle because it'd be nice to be able to control this a little bit. I think there's a way to bake these down. Let's just have a quick look at what options we've got. Extrapolation, constant. Oh, is this actually baked into, where is it at? Smash, it's a linked object. Okay, so here's what's going on. This is a linked object, the smasher, right? And in the original linked file is where we've got this setup, this animation, and this loop for it. And I don't want that. I want to be able to control this within here. So I'm going to just take smasher and I'm going to hit F3 and I'm going to type make local selected object and data. So we'll go to that third one. Just hit return. So now this object loses that little icon. So it means it's no longer linked, right? So it's no longer linked to our master file where we're, everything's being sourced from. And that's fine. It's okay to do this. Just be aware if you're working in a team and you got other people that are involved, if they make an update, it's not going to translate through for the smasher, right? So in these cases, you just need to make sure that, okay, if you make some change, that there's a way for you to just stay aware of what's happening to the main asset. If you need to bring in the asset again, you can bring in that new asset and then make it local again and just put the action that you have on this one onto that one, if that makes sense. So, because all the animation lives in the action and the action is associated with the object. So you can bring in another object and take that action and move it to it. So you're never really you're never locked in, like you're always free to do stuff. Okay, so now that I've made this guy local, what I want to do is I'm going to bake out this curve. right? So that, because right now, remember what it's doing is we've got just these 3 keyframes or 4 keyframes all the way back here. And this modifier, this cycles modifier is repeating that motion. So it looks for the first and the last keyframe. And where the last keyframe is, it just starts back at the beginning again. And it creates this repeated motion. But in order for us to make a specific change in one shot, right, way down here that doesn't affect the other shots, what we need to do is bake this curve out, which basically means turn this curve, this animation curve, into keyframes for the entire thing. So we just come over into our viewport with this object selected. And so we've got the object selected there. We F3 and we just type in bake, right? And you want to select bake action. And it's going to give you the start and end frame, which for us is great. That's the start and end frame of our sequence. We could do it a bit longer potentially, but I think we'll be all right with these. And then what we want to do is for step 1, that's fine. We're going to go visual keying and just make sure we got object selected. We don't want to do pose because there's no bones. So that's not going to do anything. We don't need to clean the curves. I mean, we could, after baking curves, remove redundant keys. We could do that, but that's fine. We'll do this manually so you can see it. Overwrite the current action. This will save it into the action that already exists. We could do that because, I don't know, let's have this turned off. So what this will do is, by having this turned off, it's going to create a new action for this object, which means we've got this one saved. We can always flip back to it if we need to. I'll show you how that works. We can leave all the rest as is. We'll click OK. And we'll just have to wait a little bit. It's a bit slow. It'll just cook the entire thing for every frame. Okay, so it's finished, and you can see we've got lots and lots and lots of keyframes. So with all these keyframes still selected, so we come here and make sure we got all channels selected, all keys selected. Let's just do a bit of cleanup. We're going to clean keyframes. This will get rid of any keyframes that are exactly the same. And then what we're going to do is go key clean channels. And that will clean out any channels that really don't have any animation data on them. So we've just got these. I'm not sure why we still end up with scale because there's no real animation data on scale. Only the one key here. So we could probably just select these guys and delete those keyframes. And let's see what else we got. X location. We also don't really need the X location, so I'll just delete that. Z we need, and the X rotation we also don't need. So yep, there we go. So we're just back to this. Now, you can see that with these curves, there's a ton of keyframes, right, that define this shape, which we don't really need that many, and it makes it hard to work with. Like we can't just adjust a few keys to get the thing to look just right. So what we're going to do is reduce these down, but maintain the shape. So let's go to key, and we're going to come to decimate. We're going to use ratio, and then we just drag the mouse, and you can see keys start to disappear. And basically what we can do is just get as many to disappear as possible without really losing the important shape. And I feel like that's pretty good. So 82%. I'm going to click there. And see, it's really reduced it down to just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keys for each little cycle. And it looks exactly the same. It's got the same amount of punch. Looks quite good. But now everything is literally just keyframes and there's no modifiers. So we can just make adjustments as we feel fit. So let's get this timing right. So he turns, oh no, sees the escape. Off he goes, and so I want him to have this jump happen, basically, so he's jumping just as it goes down. So to do that, let me, let's see, I want to make sure I don't affect anything before, so I'll just take this moment right here on this guy, and I'll hit I, and I will just do a keyframe here on this selected channel, and then I'll come here, and I'll do I again. Make sure I grab that channel, and I'm just going to select these two guys and change the handle type to free. That way, as I move these, it won't really affect this shape at all. And then what I can do is I can grab all of these guys right here, like this. Probably grab this one too, I think. So let's see. I might just grab everything that's after this, just so we have that same like pacing for all of these. And then I'm going to go to the moment where I want it to kind of come down, which is just after he jumps. And I'll grab X and I'll just bring this back a touch. Bit too close to the cut there. Let's think about, what is this? Why does this not quite work? Does that work? I mean, maybe we need to linger on the cut a bit. Let me just pull this out. Jumps. What's going on there with the camera? Or is that our little dude? Something's intersecting with our lens. Oh yeah, it's the guy. You can see his head. Goes right into it. What if we slowed it down, like just for this shot, you know? So let's see what happens. Let's go to here. And I'll just scale this. I want to scale it from this point. So let's go to 2D cursor. It'll scale from the cursor here. Getting a little bit of weird behavior though. Let's see what happens. I mean, I guess we don't really need to have like the lift, right? Because we don't see that. It's already up. It's really just this crash down that we're looking to do. So let me get rid of these keyframes. And let's just grab this out. Let's just create a different arc motion for this one so we see it a little bit more. We can also come down a bit maybe with the camera and look up so we really see it. Let's have a play with that. Bring this back up. I mean, I do like the way that motion feels, like being above him and looking down like that, because we're kind of just looking up. Maybe we just get the camera to drop. So let's go to our camera and let's go to the Z location and the X rotation. Oh, we are dropping. Okay, cool. Let's just drop further. And take these guys right here and grab them up. So we just tilt up further. Yeah, that works. We just need to get rid of some of this stuff in the foreground. I wonder if we can get away with just using the camera clipping plane. Come here, we'll just do clip start. Just expand that up. No, we're not gonna be able to do that. That's fine. All right, let me get this rubbish. Let's see. How does this work again? Is it just parented to something? Yeah. So if I put a keyframe on it, it should be fine. So let's just come here, I location, and I'll come here, I location, and right here, I location. And now what I can do is I can just take this, come back here as well. So I've done a bookmarked it basically. So there's the keyframe before and after each cut. Now I can just come to this and I can just grab, I want to grab on the X location. So I'll grab this one and this one, grab Y, and then I can just slide these guys back until it looks right. And we no longer have that in frame. Yep. Okay, cool. Let's go back to this. switch back to bounding box cursor. I'm going to bring this up so there's less of a bit more impact. Now we can't see the drop, right? I feel like we're a bit too low, maybe. Let's just bring the camera up a touch. Try and make sure we keep our character in the right spot of the frame. That a bit. And this guy's kind of blocking things a bit. So let's keep moving things back. Right. And I wonder if we could cut maybe instead of staying on him, we should stay down with the impact, you know, like keep this kind of level. If we're more centered on the crunch. It's claustrophobic. That back up. I think that's pretty good. I think we just need to cut sooner. Also just have him jump out of frame more. Let's do that. Let's go to the droid and let's go to his, just go into pose mode. I'm already in pose mode. There we go. All right. So take the root, which will be the master. Let's go ahead and lock him off here. So I whole character, come back to here, and let's see. I want to take this root, and I'm going to grab Z, and grab X, grab Y, grab Z. So it's just kind of jumping up and leaving camera. All right, it feels like he's flying. Yeah, too much there. We just do that. It's like he's jumping off to the right a little too much. I feel like I need to be on this cut just a little bit longer. So what I want to do is come right here. So I'm just going to hit minus, just to minus then plus. That closes and reopens everything. I don't want to mess anything up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to into my timeline, W and all channels. And then I'll come here. Sorry, not W, I and all channels. And then what I can do is I can grab these guys and I can select everything that's after the current frame. And then I can make sure I've got markers synced, turned on. Just grab these out a little bit. That way that's all the same. Yeah, cool. Just to give us a little bit more time for that crash. Although I don't think I really needed to spread all that out, did I? Let me undo all that, because I think all I really need to do is do the droid rig. So I and W, and then come to this frame, I and W, which I've already done. So he's locked off. And then, I mean, that's it really, right? We just need to move him. So I can deselect all this. And I can just grab all these keyframes. Right? And G to grab. Just bring it out a little bit. I guess this is affecting the curves, which is why these guys are going out. So I should do that free thing again. So grab those, handle type free. Now he should just stay put. He's still going. Still going. Why is he going? Is there, oh, there must be animation on his actual base. Yep, there is. All right. So that means I just need to also get out of pose mode. And I location rotation, this frame, I location rotation. And then I can select these guys like this and grab out. Yeah, cool. Now he's just moving to that keyframe. Perfect. So I can just grab this, Shift D to duplicate, drag it out. Now I should stay fairly still. It's got a little bit of movement because the curves kind of automatically get a little bit. If I could make this, if I select these guys and go handle type auto clamped, that'll keep him still. All right, now let's get a little more impact on this hit, because this is kind of the big important hit for the smasher. So the drop down is pretty cool, but I feel like it just needs to stay down a little bit and then like lift up with a bit more power. Bring that back a little bit more. What happened if I had a really slow lift after that heavy weight? Like this, right? That's a bit more dramatic, I think. Now, one problem is we've got this sort of conflict where this thing goes down at the same time as he's going up. So our eye goes up with him and we kind of miss the hit. We could also correct that by adding a bit of camera shake. So on this hit here, what we could do is grab a bit of X rotation. And let's say we go, I select a channel and then dot, 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 maybe even just 2 frames and put another just key here, but then grab it down. And then get Shift D to duplicate, just bring this up. A little bit more. Yeah, cool. Way too much, but get the idea. Let's see. I'm gonna So just go Shift S, cursor to selection. Is that going to work? Oh, I've got normalize turned on. If normalize is turned on, that won't work. So let's go here and one more time. Shift S, cursor to selection. No, not selection, cursor. Shift S, cursor to selection. I'll put this blue line right in the middle of all these guys. And then if I go over here and switch to 2D cursor, I can scale Y and they'll all scale around that point. So I can flatten these guys out a bit and straighten up these curves. So there's a bit more room here. There we go. Might get rid of that key there. Grab this here. Yeah, that works. So we drop a bit too soon though. We got to come down. Let's move these guys over so they really hit when it hits. The first one should actually be the other way around. So let's invert them. Come here, scale Y, and just invert. Bring this one a bit further down. This one up, bring this one down, so it like decreases. That's pretty good. Maybe come back a little bit. Cool. All right, great. Now we've got this, and then bring this up. And a little bit of Y rotation would be good. So I select a channel. 1, 2, 3. And then let's rotate Y just a touch. Just hitting full stop to recenter my view around those keyframes. Go. Just copy this one, get it back to normal. And with these, I will scale them down so they're sharp points. Let's get it to feel right. Yeah, that's good. Cool. Now our conveyor belt stops a bit too early. So we want to grab belt control, is it X? Yep. So let's grab this, move it out past the shot. Well, there's something cool there that just happened. By moving that keyframe, it's changed where he is at the start of that shot. Which means he kind of comes into the shot. That's kind of nice. I like that. So it's like a bit too quick, but I feel like we have a little too much downtime. Let's try bringing it up a bit. Yeah, I like that. That's kind of cool. drops him, douche right here, bam, bam, bam. It's getting closer, it's getting closer. I feel like he's still not quite on frame long enough. I'm going to keep it for now. I kind of like it. Might change my mind later after I see it with fresh eyes. But I think overall, the impact of this shot has just gone up like 100 times. It's just way more interesting now, way more punchy, dropping down low, coming up a bit to see the thing, slowing down the smasher for this particular shot, giving that camera shake. Like it feels like he's just escaped, right, by the nick of his teeth, which was kind of the original idea we had back in the storyboards phase. So I think that's definitely really cool. Definitely what we were aiming for. And up. Cool. All right, awesome. Now let's take stock, figure out what's next. So next up, we're going to push ahead here and let's just reconsult our storyboards. Where's my video sequencer? And preview. Now, something going on with my sequencer. Am I missing my storyboards, maybe? What's the... Whoa, look how glitchy that looks. All right, so I'd still have the storyboard here. Why is it not showing up? Let's go to... Have I just moved it, maybe? Let's go to my outliner, switch to video sequencer. Where's this thing at? It was the name. I've re-imported it. Again, I found it was still there, but I think I've renamed the folder at one point and forgot to update things. So I've called it now 000 underscore storyboards, whereas it used to be SC00 storyboards. So that's why I just couldn't find it. Easy. Get rid of the one that's not working. Keep that one. All right, so back to the boards. Let's switch back to just preview. And let's have a look at what it is we need to get done next. So he escapes. Bit off, actually. Maybe are my storyboards off? Let's just see. Let's go to the beginning of this scene. See where it lands. Yeah, no, this is the beginning of the scene. Fall down. He goes into the conveyor belt. Yep. Introduce the smasher. Oh, that's right. We did add some stuff. That's why we're off. Okay, cool. No worries. I remember we added in moments last episode, I think. So, okay. So the next conceptual beat is, so he escapes from the smasher. So this is the dramatic bit where he's got to like leap from arm to arm and get them to like smash into each other. This is how he escapes. Okay. All right, let's get our cut point figured out. So yeah, I kind of like cutting right about here. So let me get my droid rig and I'll just drag this out. And I'll grab this. I'm going to turn sync markers off as well just to be safe. Cool. Okay, so from this point forward, what we're doing is we're trying to solve the dramatic act sequence. So what we need to do is get him, and we'll probably cover this more in the next episode because we're about out of time for today, but we're going to have him run across here. In the boards, we've got him, let's see. What does he do? So he intentionally jumps onto one of the things. So that's his strategy. So we need him to leap off. So he's going to have to run to this first one. This first guy is going to kind of move up like try and shake him off. Maybe we'll have a little moment there. And with the boards, we've got this idea where he swoops up into the air. And then I've got this idea where we've got this shot, right? Where we can see the exit up here. And we've got like the arms trying to get him, and he leaps from arm to arm. I've only kind of got two in this board section. And one of them tries to snatch him, and he just runs up the arm. Might be cool if we did a bit of leapfrog, though. Like, had him jump from this arm to this arm to this arm a little bit. Like, get actually all the way over here. Because this is pretty far. I mean, if we were doing it just like the boards, it would just be these two. And like a final showdown kind of thing. Which we can, we can skip stuff. We can definitely skip space. We don't have to think about A and B like goes from point A to point B so literally. It's not always necessary. But if we jump to here, onto the first one, it lifts up. It's cooler with more of these guys in background of the shot, right? So if it lifts him up, and then like, it'd be funny if they all like and like looked at him. What are you doing? I think we'll just focus on this one. Come up, it'll shake, try and get rid of him, and like swing around, and then we'll have a dramatic shot where we see more than one arm. We might cheat and come forward just to this group, possibly. So this one like tries to reach and grab him. How could we use all of them though? Let's see. This guy would try and reach. He would jump onto it. Be to here. Cool to have like an above shot as well, like as he gets really high. Like the arm passes over. This one tries to grab him. Yeah, I don't want to go through all of these. I feel like the action will be too redundant. So I think I'm going to skip a little bit. So I think what we'll do is we'll jump straight onto this arm. And then this guy will try to come over and grab him. We'll see how it feels. It may not work, but. And then he'll jump off of this as this one swings around. I'm thinking they can slide like this too, along the base, like that. So it might come down, and then he'll jump to this one and then up. We're also going to do this little cheat, right? Where the end, see, we have this shot where it's just him in the arms, and he jumps at the end of that shot out of frame. And then we just have this moment here where he just hops up to the top of the pile and scoots out, which is like way up high. And this is like a huge jump. So we're going to have to cheat a lot. We're going to have to cheat him into this shot. So he leaps, doosh, doosh, up and out. We're just going to do it so quick that it doesn't matter. The audience won't think about it. And we'll just get him out. One thing to think about this little chunk too is action sequences work really well if you have sort of like 3, maybe 4 significant beats that climax. So each one builds on the next. And you can really repeat the action. We can't repeat stuff. So jumping onto an arm, right? That's a pretty exciting beat, like, right? Or it's a cool, unique moment, right? Right here in the boards. So where he jumps onto an arm, that's a moment you go, oh, that's going to be his strategy. That's clever. It's kind of a neat idea. It's fresh. We haven't seen him do it yet in the sequence. He comes up, so that's like beat 1, riding the arm up. The next beat is the other arm sees him, and this is the complication. Okay, well, how do we deal with this problem? And that arm tries to snatch him and ends up grabbing the other arm, right? And so then he jumps onto it. So that's kind of an escalation right now. You got 2 arms intertwined. So maybe like it breaks them, or like they get tied up together. And now he's running along the other one, and these maybe swing around and knock into something. That could be cool. But if like these 2 guys trip up another one, because the problem is like he jumps, right? And then he's out. So we really only have 2 beats in this little bit of action. Ride the arm, jump onto the other arm while they smash, It'd be good if there was like one more, like, he jumps off of the arm here, and we've got the final two arms to contend with. We could use the fact that they can move maybe along this track. Shh. That could be cool. Make sure I don't get him out of position. Wait, have I already done that? Have I already wrecked him for the beginning? No, good. I feel like we need one more beat. Up, rides it, jumps from one to the other. Maybe the jump is the second beat. So he rides one up, whoa, and the other one sees, and then he jumps from that one to another one. Boom, that's an exciting beat. And then this one sees that he's on this one, and this one swings around. Maybe it starts to spin or something. And then he jumps off of that one onto this one. So I feel like that's a bit starting to be redundant. So I think at this point, so jumping onto this one will still feel exciting, but I think from this one needs to grab it and narrowly mess him, and then he runs up the arm, and then what could be done next? Maybe he has to jump and run along the conveyor belt one more time for this stretch, and this guy like tries to get him, and he dodges it, but then he still has to jump and get off of that one. A little bit tricky, but you can see where I'm going, like how you need to have this kind of a pace to it. So, I mean, let me know if you have any ideas down in the chat, down in the comments. Be helpful. But look, I feel like this is good progress today. I feel like it's going to be exciting to get into this next bit once we push through with this. I definitely want to do the jump on to the robot arm, and I definitely want to do the grab where the arm grabs the other arm. So I think the jump on right up, shake, shake, shake. He holds on. The other one comes up. He jumps onto it. That'll feel exciting. Jump from one to the other. And then another arm sees him, grabs it, or goes to grab him, and he jumps at the last minute. He grabs it. Oh, and maybe he falls at that point. No, he lands on the arm and jump. I mean, that's kind of 3 beats, isn't it? Jump on, ride up. Whoa, we rode up. Leap onto another one, death-defying leap. That's a second beat, and then arm grab, and jump onto the arm, run, and leap. That works. That's 3 good beats, and the last one feels more exciting than the other 2. So really, we'll do it with just 3 arms. We'll do it with these 3, ... and we'll try and frame it as well. So we're like, we shoot this way between these 2, and he runs up and jumps, and then we'll be up. Like that. Although it would be good to maintain the screen direction because we've kind of been going in the same direction. But let's before we end the episode, let's just kind of rough that so that it's in place and we don't have to think about it next time. So I won't worry about the cameras as much as just his position on all this stuff. So he's going to come here. So the first thing he's going to do is I'm just going to delete that movement keyframe. So he lands, and we're going to have him go. So let's see, boom, 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 jump onto the arm. So this arm at this point needs to be, why don't I have my tab for pie menu? Where is it? Key map, tab for pie menu. I much prefer that. All right, so let's grab the little control. Let's bring this down. Actually, first, so we don't mess it up, because I don't know what we didn't key or, let's do an IW there just to lock him off. And then let's grab this, full stop, select, grab this down. this over the conveyor belt so it's like down low, like that. And then he's gonna run up this way, this, and then he's gonna jump on to the arm like that. Right? Doop. And then the arm's going to go up. This, that look controller, which is right here. Be like, ah. Might even like lift up, a bit crazy. I don't know. Then we'll grab him up like this. This camera will be like, covering the whole thing, but I'll just kind of map out some angles. Could be cool. Like that's kind of exciting. What if he's like looking up at us? Like, wow. Something like this could be cool. It jumps on. I'll need to, let's see, let's get, wow, it's just named Armature. Did I not name these guys? Wow. Crazy. All right, so he jumps on right here. Put that there. This is going to go up. Shake, shake, shake. And then the arm is going to, this arm is going to come up. So I don't know, put him right here. I might IW at this point, and then he's going to look up. Whoops. Oh, why are both of these guys? Oh, that's weird. Do I have some kind of bizarre instancing problem? Why are these guys linked? When I select one, I'm selecting both. Let me go back to object mode. What's going on there? Okay. Bring this up. It's probably because I've got lock object modes turned off. I should turn that back on. So we're going to have the death-defying leap now. So something like this here. He's going to go up, and then our dude's going to leap from one to the other. Let's say IW here for him, and then go forward a little bit. Bring him over to the other side, like so. So he survives the death-defying leap. We'll have this leap kind of be covered, I don't know, something like this. He jumps. Like, whoa. That maybe. And then jumps to there. And then this one will come around. Off of a little beat here. He's going to come around. This roughly something. And this guy is going to lock him off with IW, and then I'll bring him up. This is the guy that's going to grab. So I might scale this up like he's getting ready to grab our dude. little hero is going to be still on top. We'll use constraints and stuff to stick him on so he actually stays on it, but just for now. And then he's going to lunge. Scale that down, grab this, bring it forward. I'd hit Alt-G just to cancel out that grab, just to get it back into the right spot there. And some kind of grab like this. Comes forward a bit as well, and our little hero jumps to the other one. Up and onto the other one, and then he runs down the side like so, something like this. So he like runs down it. And then this guy is gonna be correct up, pulling this one with it, maybe. Something like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. And that means our little character will be up here, and he will jump off that. So let's see. So we got our up high shot. We'll have this kind of death defying leap shot, and then we'll have something like this. And then grab hold of him. Maybe we'll cut in close or something. Land and jump off camera. That, and then we will cut to, so just lock him off, and the next bit he'll just be all the way over here. And our shot camera will capture the jump from an angle where we can also see the hatch. So this, and we'll move the hatch down, I think. So he'll kind of come here into frame, something like this. And then a little jump and land here. And then up and out. So kind of like off that way is where we're going to need the hatch. I might just lock the hatch off. So grab this and keyframe the location rotation and the scale. We might need to do the scale too. And then here, what we'll do is we'll bring it way down, bring it forward like this. Can go through. We'll have to come up with something for how that works, but. And let's just go to the last keyframe that we had for that, and just make it a little bit more in line with this is just to, get the blocking ideas down so that we can not have to rethink all that. You can see the timing's terrible and the pacing doesn't work, but But what's cool about this though is you could like come along here and we can actually just set a couple of markers, right? And go, all right, well, this is the first moment, and then here's the next moment, and then here's the next moment, and we could just step through this in little still frames, and that can help you like think through it, making sure that it feels unique. But this will be good. This will be a foundation for us. I'm going to save this as number 8. I'll go ahead and put this in the dump run product over on the Blender Market as well, so everybody's got access to this project file, so you can stay up to date. And I will post this video up ASAP. So we've got some cool plans coming ahead with the series. We're going to be shifting the story a little bit. I've got a better idea for how we can line the ending. So we're going to have to go back and just do a little tweaks to the opening and add a few more assets and things. It's got a really simple idea, I think, for the blend really well. But we'll talk about that as we get there. But thanks so much for watching. Hope you really enjoyed this. It's good to be back. Hope you didn't miss me too bad. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye.